Hi, I'm Smoking Moses, and today I'm here to interview for you a big friend of mine, a brother of the leaf, Reinhard Pohorec. Stay with me. Hi, Reinhard. Nice to be here with us. He's a sensory expert and experienced designer, and he is famous for all the magnificent job he did with the Light 'em Up Lounge, and I'm really honored to have you here with us.
Although the honor is all mine. Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
So, the first question that I have for you, how did you arrive at this business? How did you arrive at this magnificent world of cigars?
Let me start by saying that everything that I do is an expression of my most heartfelt passion, my gratitude, and humility. I am very fortunate and honored to have met wonderful people during my life, have made outstanding experiences, smoked wonderful cigars, and along the way make the acquaintance of friends and brothers like you are. I do come from a very simple and humble background and upbringing. I was born and raised in Vienna, even though in a very rural setting and environment. And as a family, we never had much, but we had the family table. And so my earliest childhood memories evolve around my grandfather and my grandmother and my parents standing in the kitchen, and we're kneading dough and baking bread together. So I think that subconsciously I always learned, and I always got that very honest and sincere appreciation for a humble product and the honest labor of your hands. And it was only later in life that I rediscovered that, and I went back to my roots because originally I studied socioeconomics, I worked with handicapped pupils, I almost became a professional drummer, I was a skiing instructor, but ultimately, when coming back to my roots, I learned that what I'm truly curious about and what I love most is our senses as our instruments, the way we perceive things, how we encounter experiences, and then ultimately how I can also reverse engineer the process and design experiences. I have a background in wines and spirits through the WSET, the Wine and Spirit Education Trust, where I learned a very methodical tasting approach to things. I was always a fan of cigars. I smoked my first cigar on my 18th birthday. I put on a black suit and a tie, got a cigar, which was an inexpensive machine-made chilled filler cigar that I fondly remember. I went to a local American bar, smoked that cigar, and felt like a grown-up. And then I, every now and again, smoked cigars. I was reintroduced to the art and the culture of smoking cigars by dear friends of mine. And later along my professional journey, cigars really came into the picture not just as a hobby and as a passion, but also as a part of what I do professionally. But again, it is that very same appreciation for an honest handcrafted product, for the time, the effort, the blood, sweat, and tears that went into every single leaf of tobacco, and in the art form that is assembling such a wonderful product. And then ultimately, you and I, we get to sit down together here, have a great conversation, and enjoy the conviviality of a fine cigar. And that's mesmerizing for me.
Totally agree with you. How did the idea of the Light 'em Up Lounge arrive to you? How do you develop it and why?
I had a concept ready, prepared, to start a podcast in collaboration with the Cigar Journal under the name Light 'em Up. And then, of course, the devastating COVID-19 situation came along. And since, besides the sensory and experience element, hospitality and the art of hosting people is a quintessential part of everything that I do. So I was asking myself, how can I still be a good host? How can I bring people together? And how can I make sure to create a platform where apasionados from all around the world can gather together, have a cigar, have a great conversation, and just embrace the moment? And the vessel to do that was the Light 'em Up Lounge. And I simply thought of, let's create a virtual bar, a virtual lounge, like a virtual room where we can all sit down together and embrace the moment. Unfortunately,
I think that for all of us, that was a treasure that you did.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I truly appreciate all the support from people around the world that they were open to the idea. And
To sit with you.
exactly, yes.
Virtually.
Especially the manufacturers and all these icons of the industry. We were fortunate to welcome legends like Caldito Fuente, Jose Blanco, Fred Vandermalier, who was our very first guest, Didier Huvenagel. We had Klaas Kellner from Davidoff, and I could go on and on and on. We had so many wonderful conversations and evenings that we could spend together. And then, of course, the support from people like yourself and all the influencers and the opinion leaders of the industry, but ultimately, of course, also the apasionados at home, tuning in every week and just share that moment with us.
It was a fixed appointment, and still it is. So thank you for doing and for organizing this. And I think that the entire world is, of course, thank you for this, because you are honored by the trophy of Cigar Journal, and it was really incredible, and I was very happy for you for what you reached in such a short, let's say, months, to collect people and create something that is powerful, more powerful than we thought before.
I just did a proper galette, by the way.
Perfect.
It has to be part of every good video. Proper galette. Johan, you're the man.
So, what are you looking in a cigar? Why you smoke cigars? You already did a little bit of answer about this, but what do you love especially of a cigar?
I would say there's two aspects to answering that question. The one is, a cigar is never just a cigar. A cigar is an experience. And the quintessence of that experience is all the time and effort that went into creating that magnificent cigar. A cigar, like great spirits, great wines, other artisanal handcrafted products, it's culture, it's history, it's terroir, geography. And every time I light up a cigar, I'm mesmerized and utterly fascinated by, here I am, I get to smoke this wonderful cigar, and just think of all the people that were necessary to create that.
Behind.
Exactly. Mother Nature, all these different influences and implications that ultimately led to me having the opportunity to enjoy that. And that makes me so grateful and very humble for the product. And that's why I will always treat the product with respect. And also the people that I'm with. Because a cigar is also a wonderful get-together. It's a moment in life where I get to contemplate, sit back and relax, either think about life all by myself, or as we do right now, share this wonderful chat and conversation with each other. And all that is a cigar. That's what I'm looking for, and that's what I treasure about a cigar. And then, of course, there is a second aspect when you ask me about what do you look for in the particular smoking experience, that's a totally different thing because it's a more, I wouldn't say technical, but it's a different layer. I'm looking for complexity in a cigar. All these intriguing nuances, depth, all these layers of aroma and flavor. Of course, as everybody else, I'm looking for good construction, even burn, and that the cigar performs well. But I would say it's to have a pleasant experience that is filled with joy and reveals new layers with every single puff.
I add that for me a cigar is also something that collects people. So
Couldn't agree more.
without cigars, we were not here today.
Yeah.
We will never met each other. So for me, I have to thank the cigar business because our streets cross somewhere. So
That's another thing that just fascinates me about the world of cigars is the quality of people that is in the cigar industry. Just think of all these outstanding people, whether it's the big names or all the way to every normal cigar aficionado and cigar smoker. As soon as we light up, sit down,
we are brothers.
we're brothers and we have something in common.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never experienced that with any other product.
It's the only things in the world that connect people so immediately. And now a difficult question. What can we do to increase the market, to make more people going and approach this amazing world?
I think a lot of it has to do with, first of all, creating experiences that are holistic, mesmerizing, and thus memorable and meaningful. It's also about an educational element.
So train people,
but
make
not
them know what they are doing.
exactly. But I don't mean that in sort of a bossy way, or I'm not here to tell
Teach.
anybody what they're supposed to smell or taste or how they should light and cut and smoke their cigar. Not at all. I just want people to enjoy and have that wonderful experience. But of course, we can all help each other and we can try to all together elevate our senses, elevate our appreciation and our gratitude for those wonderful products. So I think it really has to do with creating opportunities, creating moments, memories, and experiences. So it's all about creating those moments and helping people to better understand the art of cigars and everything that goes into it.
Thank you. Totally agree with you. So trying to transmit to the people the love that you have for the moment itself, not for the cigar, or not only for the cigar, the moment that with the cigar you are able to live. Thank you. Thank you, Reinhard.
It is an absolute pleasure, Aldo.
It was a great opportunity to have you here, an honor to have you as a friend, and well, how do you see yourself in the next few years? What do you want to do? What with this baby that you created? Difficult question.
It's funny that you asked that question because at some point in my life, we all get that question, like, where do you want to be in 5 years? Where do you want to take your career? And I was always a very ambitious and driven person with high aspirations, dreams, and goals. And at some point I realized that, think of the iPhone. That's been 12 years, right? And 12 years is nothing. But can you still imagine a world before the iPhone? I think most people cannot. And that's 12 years. So if you ask me, within the next 12 years, what's going to happen? I have zero clue, right? So I wouldn't say I shy away from the question, but I just know for a fact I have zero clue about what's going to happen. I just know that I want to tackle it full on. I want to give it my all. I want to invite people to go on a journey with me. I want to be grateful for all the people that I meet along the way. And I want to make people aware of their sensory capabilities, the talent that we all have, and the wonderful gift that we're all presented with, which is our senses and our appreciation and perception of the world. And if we can get a little more in tune with that, and we actively start listening again, seeing things, feeling, smelling, and tasting, then I think the world will become a much better place yet again. And so that's how I want to combine the two core pillars of everything that I do, and that is hospitality as the why to everything that I do, treating other people well, hosting other people, welcoming them. And the second element, that is sensory, perceptions, experiences, and creating those experiences for all the people who are interested and willing to listen.
Yeah. Thank you. You are absolutely an inspiration for me, first of all, but I think also for thousands of people that follow you in all what you do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Bye from Smoking Moses and Reinhard.
Thank you so much.